All right, we sailed into Kona today. This is actually going to be our last island stop before we head back to San Diego. And we'll be tendered in today. You can see they've got some of them out, going, launching.
Please be at the meeting point at the designated time on your tour ticket. For all guests who haven't received other instructions, when you are ready to go ashore, please go to the Blue Store on deck 2. The team will provide you with a tender ticket when you arrive. Please only go to BB King's when you are fully ready to go ashore, and you will be going directly from the lounge to the tender boat when it is your turn. Please have your statement key card out and ready to be scanned as you approach the tender.
Once again, we're being tendered in. You made it.
Well, did you catch me being helped by the deck guys?
I did catch you.
Darn it! There goes my man card.
Again. All right, we just got off our tender. You can see right next to the pier is a cute little beach. And then there is this historical hut. And that's where we came from.
So the four of us decided to go on a glass bottom boat reef tour. Now at 71 years old, I have decided that this is how I will be snorkeling from now on. For one thing, you stay dry, and you're pretty darn comfortable. But the biggest thing I like is you don't have to clear your hose near as often. Now I came to realize a few things while I was on this excursion. Number one, I realized that Sue was totally enjoying looking at all the schools of fish, simply because she in fact was a retired teacher. But number two, I suddenly realized that we were riding in a boat with glass windows cut in the bottom, and we were riding over pointy rocks. So I could tell that my deodorant was starting to fail. But most importantly, number three, I saw that looking down into the clear glass window in a rocking boat in the Pacific, it's quite a challenge. And as I looked around, I could see that I was doing the best at this on the entire tour. In fact, I did so well that by the time I got off the boat, people were referring to me as Jacques Cousteau. So we were all smart enough to eat light the morning of our glass bottom boat tour. So the next mission was to find a nice place to eat. We found a place called the Kona Canoe Club. And more importantly than the food, it was the view that we were after. With this place, we got both. The food was excellent and the view was spectacular. One thing about the OGEM channel, you can always count on finding out a lot of behind the scenes things that most people don't know about. So Sue, I don't know if you know this, but these boats in back of me here, they're parked here, and this is kind of a museum setting, because actually all of these boats used to be tenders that were used by Holland America to bring the people to this island to do some shopping. So it's really nice. You can see how great shape they're in, but it's a lot better being on the boat that we're going to get on right now. So I hope you guys appreciated me filling you in on some of the finer things on the cruise. We're just about ready to go to eat. We're kind of dressed up for our casual dining today. We're going to meet our guests that we're traveling with. But you can see that the roof here is open. It's shut on 3 sections here. A couple of sections are open there. And let's take a peek in there how relaxed it is as people are waiting around to just talk about what they did today. So I don't know who told us this. I think it was one of the people on shore. But apparently this roadway that goes all along here, the town, it's like 7 miles or something like that. And they said the majority of what you need or want to see is like the first 3/8 of a mile here. So, you know, you do this, you've got this town covered, except if you're going to be going to some type of an excursion. But just to walk around and experience the town. I found this town really fun, and it had a really good jive, and it really... Wow! Yeah, if you hear that and you're on shore, you're pretty much in trouble. Yeah.
Kind of broke your thought, didn't it?
Whew! All I can say is I'm glad I hit the restroom before that thing blew. Jesus.
Right, it's another evening of entertainment in the world stage. Piano player tonight.
Now I can tell by how he's dressed that he's not a regular cruise passenger. I'm pretty sharp, kind of like a marble.
So please welcome, direct from New York City, piano virtuoso Hyperion Knight.
Oh, you beat me.
Not by much.
Really?
Yeah, so my lovely wife walked down 8 flights.
That's right.
I took the
Elevator,
elevator.
lazy.
Yeah, I didn't take the umbrella, I took the elevator.
Walking down is so much easier. You should have joined me.
When you're on a floor that looks identical and you don't know to turn to the starboard or the port side, they have 2 different types of artwork here. On this side, when you're confused, you look, let's say, oh, am I on the exploded china bowl or teapot, or am I on the broken spot?
Broken and
And we're on the broken spot,
Yeah.
so let's go.
All right, we're back at it. We're going to give this trivia thing another try. World landmarks.
And the only reason we're going to have even more than 1 point is right here. Ms. Marcia.
Our human encyclopedia.
Yep. She's our Google. We got Kathy. She's in charge of IPA.
The Colosseum in Rome was the largest amphitheater ever built by the Roman Empire. Who was emperor when building began on this famous landmark?
All right. We got
8,
12 this time.
9,
We're counting down. We're still in.
11, 12, 13, 14.
Ooh, we're right up to the end.
Spinach, asparagus, medium, and just a little pat. Just a little pat.
It's good. Mine's a work of art.
She's got the egg mix.
I'm glad to get home.
All right, our day at sea is really calm and very relaxed. Look at us lounging. It's nice they have areas all around this deck just like this.
We're driving anywhere. Wait. Capturing it. Good job, my love. So these 4 guys packed the world stage on 3 different themed shows throughout the cruise. We really looked forward to these guys, especially after we saw the first show and we knew what we'd be getting into.
Balboa Park was dedicated a National Historic Landmark in 1977. Many of the park's attractions are along El Prado, a long, wide promenade that runs through the center of the park. The museum is open from 10 to 5 every day. The last admission is at 4 because you will need some time to make your way through it. The admission is $31 for adults or $21 for veterans.
What are you doing, Mark? That's pretty far to swim.
It is the oddest experience to be sitting in the hot tub, in the water, feeling like a halibut that's being broiled for dinner, but yet looking out on that ominous expanse of water going by. Just turn around and look at what that's what I'm looking at when I'm sitting there. The temperature is way better in this water than it is in that water.
Oh, I hope so.
And it's just the right size for me, watch. Movie night. One of our favorite things to do that we discovered. We did it 2 nights. We probably should have did it 4 nights in retrospect. One of the things that we learned was that you can move around the furniture to your liking so you're as close or as far away as you need to be. But really, the most important thing is make sure you find a speaker that's facing right to you so you can hear the words clearly.
Right, another day walking on the, what is this?
Promenade deck.
Promenade deck. It goes all the way around.
Level
but
3.
It's different from other days because it is cold.
Right, and today actually is different from other days because it is super late. We slept in again. We sleep like a baby, and we literally are going to eat for the first time today. We're meeting at 11:59
for lunch.
Yeah, the main dining, fancy seating opens up at 11:30, so we're going to be Johnny on the spot with our travel friends, Kathy and Marcia. We'll have a nice sit down and we'll begin our day. They're actually in the first leg of our trip. When we went to Mexico, they had a charity 5K walk to raise funds for Ukrainian families that were displaced. So I'm going to see if they got a different colored t-shirt for this one. And
yeah, they're doing it today again on this Hawaiian
2
LEGS.
o'clock.
Yeah.
You'll notice we got jackets on. It's about
cold.
57 degrees right now. So you could tell we're coming back to wonderful California.
We get no sympathy. In some places, 53 would be like paradise.
No, if
we're
I said
spoiled.
57, honey.
Oh my God, it is 57.
Yeah, you're right.
It's chilly though.
We don't need the sympathy.
All right, a little delay in our walk.
I woke up this morning and I was actually thinking of the Ozopods, the angle of them, and I'm wondering if they're perfectly 0, or if they're slightly -1 degree or -2 degrees, or if they're slightly +1 degree or +2 degree when they're going. These are things that keep me up at night. I'm gonna talk to the captain. I'll get back to you.
Are you recording this? Are you? Apple pie. Where are we? Dutch up? Not Dutch up. Dutch Cafe?
We're at the Dutch Cafe. Try just for our craft. Now I could be dead wrong on this, but my perception is that all of these towels and animals and caricatures were folded up and arranged and put throughout the pool deck here. in the early morning hours. I would have loved to have captured this on film. I can only imagine how many crew members it took.
So they just started a 5K for On Deck for a Cause. They're actually raising money for medical needs. Mark has a t-shirt. He opted to put money in, but he's gonna sit low. Mark decided to join the cause after all. Doubt if we'll get 5K in, but we're getting something in. You worn out, Mark?
Well, I am, and you know why? It was a 5K. I thought it was a run, so I did that first.
Oh, God.
Only to find out it's a 5K walk. So I'm using it as a cool down.
Oh, my God.
So see if you can keep up.
Mark's World. All right, we just finished crossing from Hawaii to the mainland. We're actually landing in Ensenada, Mexico, before we make our way back to San Diego. So after our, 5 days at sea, we're seeing land.
Yep.
Let's go look at it. I'm excited.
We'll be land lovers again.
Land lovers, you know that. So we're on the promenade deck right now. Go out and look at what we can see. So we're arriving after 5 days at sea in Ensenada, Mexico. And what were you saying there? We have to go there before we go to San Diego. Something about the Jones Act?
Excuse me, honey. Land ho! Yeah, I had to do that.
Oh, the captain thanks you for that one. Yeah.
Yeah, there's an act called the Jones Act. We don't claim to know why that law went into effect, but that is what necessitates us having to visit foreign port of call. I don't know if it's right before we go back to San Diego or just somewhere in the stream.
Somewhere on the trip.
You can't go just all U.S.
U.S.
ports.
to U.S., yeah.
So we'll Google that and see if we learn anything. But, this is a prime example of when you go on a ship that has a lot to offer, and there's lots of things to do, and the pool deck itself is all totally enclosed and climate controlled, and there's, all the restaurants and all the different activities to do, because there's plenty of people that literally stop going off. They've been to these places many times. Maybe they're getting older in their years. It gets a little bit more difficult. And what they just want is they just want the shows and the experience, and they might like the casinos and relax with their friends. A lot of card playing being done in here, all sorts of different games. Our friends are in the knitting crew, and that looked like that was 30 or 40 people that were doing it. We already showed stumbling on to the quilting area, so there's all sorts of stuff, that if you're not paying attention, you might not notice is happening. But
one thing that's unusual about this stop at Ensenada, usually when we hit port, it's like 7 a.m., 8 a.m. in the morning, and then we can get off. And usually they want us back on by sometimes 3:30, sometimes 5:30 before they take off. This is an unusual one because we're arriving at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then we can get off, and they want us back on board at 11:30 at night, which seems really late, but it's an unusual port for us. It's a rainy and chilly day, and we're thinking we might not even go out on the pier and see what there is to see. It's not comfortable. We'll see.
So the propellers on this cruise ship are on azipods, and if you look at the propeller wash on this side, it's not on the back, it's on the side of the boat. And this one here is churning a little bit here. That one is pushing on the side over here now. And it doesn't kind of make sense that they're each pushing on the side, other than it's literally automatically kind of trying to hold its position, but no prop wash coming out the back. So I think this is why we were kind of hanging back. This is a Princess ship, and we were waiting for that one to get out of the way. There might be multiple sections in the piers there, but they don't want to have a calamity smashing into each other.
Pilot coming to take over and get us into their port safely.
Yep.
Pilots. off that fast.
Does that show you how big this ship is? We're like, what the heck are they doing way over there? And they're gonna yank over on that one. I hope the engineer that designed it said, oh yeah, 2 ships are gonna be yanking on that baby. How are we doing on the blue bumper? Not even close. How's the back of the ship doing? Wow, it's perfectly parallel. Wow. This guy knows how to parallel park. He passed his boating test on the first try. Here's what it looks like. The final parking job. We're at the terminal. Everybody's getting off the gangplank that we just got off of.
Got all these tours lining up. And we're just going to take a walk. See, there's an exit sign, so I'm assuming that's the way we go. You ready?
This is interesting stuff.
What's
look at
interesting?
The ship and
Oh
look
my
at
God.
all of the propellers on the lifeboats, and look at how it bumps out and goes back in and bumps out. Really shows the scale of this baby.
It is huge.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's the fish market back there.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't smell like pastry, so it's definitely not the pastry.
No, not the pastry. Carry on. Well, this is pretty cool. Little artwork. All right, we know we're close. There's our ship, or some ship in the background. We're not lost, Mark.
I was the model for that guy when I was younger.
All right, we did our little walk around in Ensenada. Now we're back. Back before sunset.
So I'm sure we had a quick meal when we got back, because what we were the most excited to attend was this show with Lena and George, the dueling piano people that were in the Billboard Lounge. Now, they did a show that was in collaboration with the Step One Dance Company, and we expected it to be good, but we didn't expect it to be the best show that we had seen on the ship. Bravo, guys. This literally is the last night on our cruise. What is it, Sue, about 10 o'clock right now?
Yep, 10 o'clock.
It's about 10 p.m. And you see that we're all packed up here. And of course, we still got to sleep tonight. So I've got some last minute stuff that we have to pack. But we're basically going to fold up these suitcases now. You put them out in the aisleway with the appropriate tags on them. And like a miracle, within 2 hours, from 12 midnight on, all of these suitcases will disappear. Probably 7:45 tomorrow morning. They're going to start calling the different people, the different groups of people, to retrieve their bags so that they can go and catch the planes they want to catch, or go on the excursions or the hotels, or in our case, to have our parking lot shuttle come pick us up so we can drive back to our RV park, retrieve our RV, and bring it back to life, and hopefully go in the resort that we were before and pick up where we left off. It's Tuesday, January 31st, 2023, and you guessed it, we're back in San Diego.
We are.
The room's a little cleaner. All the suitcases have been taken. This is all of the stuff that we're going to hand carry through to the terminal.
We just got off the ship and we're ready to try to figure out where is our shuttle.
At the traffic light, then take the second left.
All right, we made it. We picked up our van. The bikes are still in there. Now we're heading back to Borrego Springs and pick up Myles.
You better remember how to drive.
You'll remember. Here we are.
There it is.
Still there.
Yeah. Are you excited, honey?
I'm excited.
We're coming, Myles!
Oh my God.
We'll be there in a couple minutes.
Oh my God.
I'm coming. I'll be right there.
Oh, Mark. Ooh, looks cleaner than when we left him. All right, Mark is getting things all set.
Oh, it's still on. Float. I'm expecting the batteries to be perfect.
Woohoo!
No mouse. No mouse.
Oh, yay.
Before I turned the inverter off, I turned off what people call the salesman switch in there. And I think that made it so that the switch to turn the inverter off was no longer active, because that switch communicates to the inverter, and it probably needs the DC circuit to do that. So I did it in the wrong order. If I truly had wanted the inverter off and my solar system, which is what I initially wanted off, I should have turned my inverter off first and then turned the salesman switch off.
Yay.
Yay! Look at this, it's just as dirty as it was when we left it.
Oh my God, it got all those goats' heads
Yeah.
up there. We need to sweep out.
12.7 volts for the starting batteries, that's good. So it says inverter COM, inverter communication. No inverter communication. That's because my red button isn't on.
All right, huh?
Yep. That's what it looks like. Last minute mess. We got the refrigerator we left open. No mouse. That's good. Did the refrigerator just go on?
Yep.
Okay, that meant my inverter was on the entire time we were gone. Let's turn the red button on. Battery disconnect, battery reconnect. So the communication is correct. Power control, power source, no service. Battery state of charge, 100%. Right now, I'm getting 12 amps of battery power because the refrigerator's on right now. All right.
And the solar's working.
Yep. Okay, so that all looks good. So technically, I should be able to open the shade now. Well, I hope you enjoyed this series of videos we did while we were on a cruise. But you know what? It's time for us to get back to our normal life, as abnormal as it is to live in a box like this that just drives around the U.S. If you're interested in coming along with us on our adventures, check out our channel, Our Journey in Myles. Myles is spelled M-Y-L-E-S. We also have a website, ourjourneyinmiles.com, and we will take you along on each and every place we go on in the future. So if we don't see you in a campground or see you on the road, we'll see you back here next week.